And I didn't see Errol get hurt a couple of times. A lot of people may say, oh, Errol too big, and he may be, but we haven't seen him take a vicious punch from a big puncher.
Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide. It's your boy Big Will, and I'm back with some boxing talk. Hey, listen, man, we had a great night of fights last night, man. We had ESPN Plus had some fights going on, and also DAZN had some fights going on. I'm gonna start with the ESPN Plus fights. Top Rank put on a good card last night. The main event was Rob Brandt. He went up against Ryota Murata for his WBA regular middleweight title. And I got to say, man, from the opening bell, I could see that Brandt meant business, man. He came to fight, and, he was throwing hard, fast shots from round one, man. After the first round, Murata went back to the corner, man. He had a busted nose. His eye was swollen. And I just knew from there that, Brandt meant business, man. Brandt came to win. And he was not going to be denied, man. He was able to pull off the victory and get that WBA regular strap, man. A lot of people, don't think much of the WBA strap, man. But, it was a good accomplishment for Brandt after coming off that loss in the World Boxing Super Series quarterfinals where he lost to Jürgen Bremer. Just goes to show, man, that just because you got an L don't mean you cannot bounce back, man. Brandt bounced back. He was determined, and he got the job done. Michael Collin, he got his ninth victory by stopping Nicola Cipoletta. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He stopped him in the seventh round. He looked pretty good, man. After the fight, he said, he's done fighting this mediocre competition. He want guys in the top 10 and top 15 so they can force him to, show all the abilities that he has, man. He says fighting these guys here, people are not going to be able to see all the skills that he got, man. So he want to step up his competition, man. And I'm looking forward to him stepping up in his competition. And Joseph Adorno went this distance for his first time in his career by beating previously unbeaten Kevin Cruz. Now, Cruz, he was a tough guy, man. He dropped Adorno twice, man, before eventually getting dropped himself. But, Adorno, he has stopped all of his opponents before this, man. And, it wasn't looking good for him early on, man, because, this guy, Kevin Cruz, man, he was bringing the pain, man. He dropped him. He hurt him, but Adorno was able to keep his poise, man. Robert Garcia gave him good direction in between rounds, and he was able to pull out the victory, man. Only thing I didn't like, man, I thought the scorecards were a little wide for my, for my liking, especially with him being dropped, a couple times, man. I don't see how they got them scorecards, like that. In my opinion, it could have been a draw, but I think the right man won. And I'm looking for more from Adorno in the future. And then we go on to DAZN. The homeboy Tevin Farmer, he went up against Tennyson, man, and he looked good, man. A lot of people, I know people have heard the story over and over again, but I'm gonna say it again. Tevin Farmer started off his career, man. His first 12 fights, he lost 4 of them. You know what I mean? He's seen a lot of turmoil. He's been shot in the hand. He's been through a lot of different things, man. And to see him go from where he was to where he's at right now, man, it makes me smile, man. It makes me smile for the Philadelphia fighter, man. I'm from Pittsburgh, man, and that's my homeboy, and I'm happy to see him in there, man. I'm happy to see that, after his last couple fights, he's been calling out Gervonta Tank Davis, man. That shows that, he's willing to get in there with the best. He want to mix it up with the best. And a lot of people were talking about Tennyson's power. That was going to be the factor. They didn't want Farmer to overlook Tennyson, man. They thought Tennyson could perhaps could perhaps hurt Farmer. They thought he would be able to push him around and be the stalker, but Farmer showed his tenacity, man. He went in there and it was digging hard shots, hellacious shots to Tennyson's body, man. Dropped him a couple times to the body, and eventually was able to get him out of there by a body shot, man. And immediately after, he went out there and he called out Gervonta Tank Davis. Eddie Hearn has been stating that he's been sending Mayweather Promotions, offers, for the fight to get Tank, and they ain't trying to hear it, man. But I think Tank's probably gonna be fighting Abner Mares sometime in December, but we'll see, man. I can't understand why they're not wanting to make this fight with Farmer, who apparently, obviously, got beef with Gervonta Davis stemming for a while now, man. There's all type of footage of them getting into it at different fights and different events. Them two going back and forth on social media, man. I think the build up to this fight is there. It's ready. It's right. People want to see that fight right now, man. But we'll see what happens with it. And I'll give my thoughts on that fight. But you gotta understand, man, that Gervonta Tank Davis is not no Tennyson. He is an animal, man. He can punch hard. He does have great boxing skills. And it would be a good matchup. It would be a good matchup. But I'll talk about that if the fight or when the fight gets made. But congratulations to Tevin Farmer and and his team, man. They did a great job last night. And I really like the way that Demetrius Andre and the Walter Executioner, I can't pronounce his last name, but the guy from Nibia, it was a good fight, man. Andre was able to drop him a few times. And that first knockdown, man, he hit him while he was down. It could have been very detrimental to the fight, man. Could have cost him the championship. It could have cost him an opportunity. But the referee Willis, he let him continue on, man. And Andre looked it very good in there with the guy who was clearly outclassed, but who came to fight. Had a hell of a chin, hell of a heart, was in hell of a shape. I think he got noticed 3 weeks ahead of time, but he looked good in there, man. He looked good for his determination, but you could see that he was outclassed. Andre looked very good. His skills looked good. His power looked good. His movement was great. The only knock that I would have on Andre would be his balance, man. He seems to be off balance sometimes when he throws shots. I even seen him, almost fall over after throwing and missing a couple shots. And guys at the elite level like Charlo or Canelo, they'll be able to exploit that, to take advantage of that. You swinging wildly and missing and almost fall. Canelo would counter that easily. A big puncher like Charlo will be able to counter that easy. So I think he need to work on his balance, man, and not to put so much of his weight into his punches where he's left off balance after the fight, man. But congratulations to him, man. He is now the WBO middleweight champion, man, and he's with the right guy, Eddie Hearn, who's obviously getting these guys the fight dates. These guys are fighting 3 times a year, maybe 4 times a year, so he'll get that exposure. He got that exposure in Boston, although the crowd didn't look that thick. It looked rather empty, but it was a good card. Katie Taylor did a job on Serrano, but she was able to go the distance. That was a good fight as well. Katie Taylor showed a little bit of her aggressive side, man. She was trying everything in her power to get Serrano out of there, but she wasn't able to do it. And I'm the sky's the limit for all these fighters, man, especially on DAZN, man. They got all this money, man, and now with the addition to Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy over there, that's just gonna bring more eyes to the app and more exposure. They're fighting 3 times a year. And more people are going to watch, just because of Canelo, and Eddie Hearn has won this part of the battle, because you know people say that Canelo's not with Eddie Hearn. He has nothing to do with it. But you have to look at what Eddie Hearn is happy about. He's happy about because he knows that bringing Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy to DAZN is going to bring a whole lot of more eyes over to DAZN to watch his fighters, along with Golden Boy's fighters. Man, Golden Boy, they got 10 shows a year on DAZN in addition to the Canelo fight. So you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what Oscar's going to put together, what Eddie Hearn's going to put together, and you know, the PBC, they're about to make their big announcement, you know, pretty soon, like they did last year, where they had, you know, they announced all the fights for the first half of the year, man, which were great fights, you know, which were great fights. So, you know, we as fight fans, man, we can look forward to some very good matchups, some solid boxing in the upcoming months, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited. That's all I got for now. It's your boy Big Will for Big Faces Worldwide. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, and share. I'll holler back.